this is something that will shock you, but believe it or not, 99% of your success comes from just 1% of your efforts. Most business owners spend their time and money like a peanut butter, thin and even across everything. While you're trying to be fair to all your ideas, your competitors, the ones that are knocking it out of the ballpark, are going all in into one thing that really matters. Let me show you what I mean. Picture this. It's 2011 and WhatsApp is just 50 people in a tiny office. No fancy marketing, no, big advertising budget, and no celebrity endorsement. Just a simple messaging app. Meanwhile, everyone else in that industry, I'm talking everyone, was just playing it safe. Spending money across Google ads, Facebook ads, TV commercial, you name it. Anything that people were familiar with it and it was considered safe. But WhatsApp did something different. They put all their focus on one thing, making the app so good that people couldn't stop telling their friends, with a clear promise to create free global messaging app without SMS fee. Well, that's kind of ambitious, and apart from that, that doesn't consider as a safe route for most businesses in those industries. And the results were shocking. In 2014, Facebook bought them for $19 billion. That's a billion with a B. If you didn't hear it, I need to say that again. $19 billion. They started at 2011, and 2014, Facebook bought them for $19 billion. And here's the crazy part. That deal alone paid back their investors' entire fund plus profit, because investors invested it around $60 million, from 2011 to 2013, and Facebook bought it for $19 billion. You do the math, the return were crazy. One bit, massive win. But the question is, what's in it for you? You see, what happened right there is what the smart money people call the power law. The power law means a small number of input drive a disproportionately large share of output. What I mean by that is that there is a small number of input that make the biggest difference in output. And so basically 80% of the result comes from the 20% of the effort. But it gets even crazier, because sometimes 90% of success comes from just one big decision. Only one, a big enough leverage that will absolutely move the needle when things get done the right way. Think about it. Netflix bet everything on streaming, while others stays on DVD. Now I want you to be the judge right here. Who's winning right now? Who's an absolute multi-billion-dollar company right now? Amazon went all in on fast delivery, while others focus on prices. Now again, I want you to be the judge here. Who's the big player right now in the market? Who's a multi-billion-dollar company right now? One big bet and the game was over for the competitor. That big bet was a huge enough leverage that if done correctly could move the needle for the entire business for decades to come. And in business, this plays out everywhere. In VC funding, they usually invest in, let's say, hundreds of startups. Out of 100 startups, one might return 100x, and handful might return, 2 or 3x, and the rest return nothing. That's why VCs, aka, venture capitalists, bet on big potential, not averages. Same goes to other avenues and other niches when it comes to customer revenue. In most companies, according to Pareto principle, 20% of customers often drive 80% of the revenue. But it can go deeper, because sometimes, 1 or 2 whale clients can, literally account for 50+% of the revenue. Marketing and sales work the same way. Not all channels are equal. Sometimes one campaign, one ads, one sales rep or one A player can produce 10x the average result. So the real question is, how do you find your power law opportunity? Step number 1, look for the outlier. Ask yourself, what's the one thing in my business that could be 10 times bigger? Maybe it's that product that customers can't stop buying. Maybe that marketing channel that brings in your best customers. Or maybe that service that make people tell their friends about your service. For example, Amazon started with books in garage. But Jeff Bezos realized that e-commerce infrastructure and logistics was the true power law bet. And so he went all in on that. Step number 2 is stop playing it safe. It's a little bit of a hard pill to swallow, but here's a brutal truth. Pretty good at everything beats amazing at nothing. Wait, hold on. That's actually backward. Let me just rephrase that again. Amazing at one thing beats pretty good at everything. You got the picture? Instead of giving everything equal attention, I want you to ruthlessly double down on what shows the exponential potential. For example, if one sales channel drives 70% of growth, expand that channel before tinkering with 10 different small ones. You want to maximize its potential before you move to the next thing. Step number 3, go all in. Cut the distraction and double down on things that actually move the needle for the business. I'm talking about that one bet, that one power law that for the fact, because 99.9% of us know already that what's a power law bet. But we are like, you know what, maybe in another decade, maybe, I don't know if I can actually do this right now because I'm pretty busy. I have, other obligations that I need to take care of, right? But I want you to cut all the distraction, all of it, and only focus on that one power law, that one leverage that you know for the fact that if things get done the right way, it would absolutely move the needle for the business, not now, but for decades to come. Yes, it feels scary to go all in one thing, and yes, you might fail, but playing it safe guarantees that you stay small forever. So here's a choice. Choice number 1, keep spreading yourself thin, stay small, and stay safe. Choice number 2, find your one big bet, go all in, and change everything. The path couldn't be simpler and clearer than this. What's the one thing in your business that if it worked perfectly, would make everything else not matter? That's your power law. That's where you go all in. And that's how you win big. It could be, that email channel or cold calling channel or sales or I don't know, DM, whatever that one bet is, whatever that one big leverage is that you and I know. Like we are, we are so aware of it. We know this for the fact, but thing is we don't want to act on it. And so the bottom line is that to never treat everything as equal, because that's linear thinking, and instead use power law principle. Look for the few things that truly matter and go all in on them and ruthlessly cut the rest. And this is why the most smartest businesses always ask, what's the one bet that if it works makes everything irrelevant?